So he's looking, he's sitting at the um, restaurant table, and he's looking at his friend, and his friend's, eating as much food as he can as usual, and his friend starts choking on the bones from the chicken, and so his friend falls down, and his friend's very large, so he is panicking, and he's like, what do I do, and he decides he's going to have to go in to him, so he climbs into his mouth, and he goes inside of his mouth, and there's this whole world inside of him, and he's on this journey to find what's clogging the way so his friend cannot die. And then I think he sort of has some sort of existential crisis, and he's trying to mediate that, and maybe on the outside world other people are trying to address the situation as well, and then they, I think, ultimately save him. He definitely lives. Is that, there's the father and the son, and they look very similar, and the mother is no longer there, and it's not quite clear why she's not there, but you can tell it's sad, and I think it's probably hard to be a single parent when you're trying to take care of your one child, and maybe it's sad for them too, not having a mother. And then he, probably he doesn't have a very good job. Maybe he lost his job or something, and then you can tell, like, you see the house, and the house is in disrepair, and the ceiling's leaking in multiple places throughout the house, so there's just buckets everywhere catching the water, and the family friends are a bit concerned, but they don't know what to do other than, take the son sometimes to play with his friends, but then shows up on their doorstep and hands him a check for some large sum of money, maybe like $1 million or $1 billion or something like that, or $100 million, and then the father passes out. He's in a muscle shirt. He's like kind of dirty and unshaven and depressed looking, so he's just in disbelief, and then next thing you know, they're moving out of their older house and they're moving to a mansion, and everyone thinks the money has changed him. They go over to visit, and he has like shrubbery sculptures and a butler who doesn't know who they are, and it's very snobby, and the kids go to see their friend, and he has all the toys you could ever want. He has everything. Big TV with video games, and he's also going to a daycare for that apparently rich and wealthy and famous people send their preschoolers to, and they're playing in the yard, and they don't want to associate with him because he's not actually one of them. And so his friends also made me think like he's a little bit different. And so the father, one of the other friends, one of the family friends, says like, hey, you know what you should do with that money is you should invest in this invention that cleans ears. And he's convincing him to do that. So he trusts his friend and says, okay, I'll just, I'll give you control of my assets. And apparently take as much as you want. So he, later on, all the adults think he changed, and they check in on him later, and they're like, he's like, there was a problem. Turns out this ear cleaner invention didn't actually clean ears, it actually caused ears to get more infected or like dirtier, like cause more waxy buildup. So the invention was a complete failure, and it turns out he invested almost his entire fortune into this invention, so he lost everything he just won. And it's pretty devastating. So they have to sell, his estate and everything. And there's one thing, when everybody came to see the first time, he said, look, I bought this giant glass elephant, and this glass elephant was like prized possession. And he keeps that one prized possession, that is the glass elephant. They moved back to their old house, which I guess never sold in the first place. They just left it there. They're back right where they started, except he has this giant glass elephant. But then I think somebody just tips it and it falls and shatters. So there's this, it's like a preteen or maybe like a young teenage boy who has had a crush on this girl for seemingly his whole life, and or something like that. And he wants to impress her, and that's pretty much what he always does. He's just trying to impress her, or how do I talk to her? And then so he gets into magic. He buys some magic tricks, and he's practicing his magic tricks. Maybe it's for a talent show or something. And then he I guess invites her over. Maybe he's trying to have her be his assistant in this magic act. And he bought at the at the local magic trick shop. He bought these handcuffs to be like his crowning trick. And he's gonna handcuff himself to somebody and then like unhandcuff himself like in some magical way. But I mean, they're just handcuffs when they have a key. So he brings her. She comes over his house, and he thinks he's real smooth and he's doing his thing, and then handcuffs them together, himself and her. And she's running late. She's like, I gotta go to volleyball practice or something. And then he's like, it'll just take a minute. And then he puts the handkerchief over their wrists, and somehow maybe his dog or something bumps him, or he just drops the key and it falls down the air vent. And he's like mortified. He's like, oh, I can fix this, it's okay. And she's like, this isn't funny. And he's like, let me just fish it out. So he's like trying to fish it out with maybe a magnet or like some gum on a string, and like he can't reach it with his hand, it's too far down. And I guess they give up at a certain point. Maybe they try sawing it in half. And he's like, I can fix this, and she's just getting more and more angry. She's very just she's like, I'm gonna miss my game or whatever, and he it's like, okay, well, we can go to the magic shop and maybe you'll have a key to unlock it. And they're like, well, she's like, well, I don't want to be seen like this. So he's like, well, okay. So they're carrying a box to make it look like they're not handcuffed together. So they have their hand behind the box and they're carrying this big box full of computer parts down the street. And of course, every possible person that could see them, runs into them walking down the street. And maybe they're like, there's these two guys and they're like, oh, I see you're carrying that box of stuff. Let's just throw some more stuff on top of it. You can help us carry it. And they're like, that's really, no, we can't. But they do it anyway. So they're carrying this huge weight now. And they're also dodging people they don't want to be seen handcuffed together in front of, because maybe that would just be socially the death of them socially. And so I think they finally get to the magic shop without somehow no one notices them. And I think it's closed. They just get there and it's like, great, it's just closed 10 minutes ago or something, and she's so mad at him. And then I think in the end he pulls off this magic trick somehow. He or maybe somebody else fixes it for them, I forget. This might be the dream part though, where he pulls the handkerchief off and he's holding a bouquet of flowers and hands it to her. And then she gets to go away and then she seems fine. So it all works out.
So there's this kid and there's this other kid at school and he thinks the other kid is an alien. But he's right. But nobody else knows and nobody else believes him and nobody else cares. So the other kid, the one that thinks the other kid's an alien, he starts following him around and going to his house and bothering him, and he's ringing his doorbell. So the alien kid has to make these robot parents, and the robot parents, they don't function very well. And the other kid, so the alien kid, has to get the parent-teacher night. So he has to bring his robot parents to school, but they don't really function as real people. So he brings them to school and they start assaulting people, and it's kind of a catastrophe. And then they kind of just I think they fly away at some point and they get away with it. And then so that happens, and the other kid is seeing all these things happen. So he's like, why doesn't anyone else see this? Why is everybody missing the point here?